Hey, hi, and hello, Mad Ink Pyro here with a very happy cutie. That's my cutie bird. I decided to bring Cutie along for today's journey. Oh, she's loving me. Isn't that so cute? This bird's awesome. Doesn't like anybody else, but she likes me. I've got a very interested Lydia sitting next to me like, what is that and why? She knows what the bird is, but she will not leave them alone when they're out of the cage. So we have to watch her like a hawk. I've got some updates. I know I've been kind of distant here lately and kind of flighty and sporadic with my uploads. Guys, this past week has tried to kill me, I think. I'm finally starting to get some good news in to report. That way you guys know what's going on and you know how it's going and why it's going and everything else. It is, give me a second, it is 10:01 a.m. on June 19th. I got some interesting news, some really good news, and some okay news. It's better than what I've had, which is bad news, bad news, bad news. Zane, can you please make sure Lydia does not eat my bird?
I can't get back there. So.
Of course, she's gonna go hide.
No,
She's gonna try to jump up here and eat my bird. Alright, we may have to send Cutie home. Go ahead and see if you can get the cute stuff. Zane has to grab her in a very specific way. What are you doing?
Getting your cat back.
Was she trying to get up here again?
Yeah.
Oh my god. They
Come here,
cats and birds,
no,
man.
No.
Cats and birds.
Damn it.
Yeah, Cutie loves me and doesn't really like many other people. We do let them fly around the house a little bit to stretch their wings, and Cutie's fast. She's fast. Get that exercise, Cutie, and on my head. Yeah, she likes to sit here.
Art is the bunny today.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Voodoo.
Can we try to get the cat or the bird before the cat tries to eat the bird?
You'll be able to eat the teddy bear.
No, we're not gonna cover her up. Well, I guess do it. Hold on, guys. This is sometimes how we have to catch Cutie. It does not hurt the.
Damn it, cat.
Lydia.
Aww.
Back here.
That's so Zane doesn't get bitten. Cutie does not like to go back to the cage.
She still got me through the shirt.
But she still got him. That's funny. Cutie, it's for your own good. Lydia's hungry, evidently.
Lydia's
So,
hungry.
I know the past couple posts I've had were kind of downtrodden, and it was a somber me. Because I have been put through the ringer this past week. It's been one thing after the next, and it seems like it all comes down at once. And it sucked. It really sucked. I mean, Amy had the car wreck.
Oh, yes.
Well, hold on. Let me start back 2 weeks ago now. We go up to help my friend find her dog. Found the dog, excellent news. Dog's a little worse for the wear, and not so great news, but at least the dog's alive and at home. During our stay at the campground, Jared cuts his foot, Victor cuts his foot, but we're okay.
I cut my hand.
Got the wounds cleaned up. Zane cuts his hand really bad trying to kill a shark. No, the shark didn't bite him, the knife did. Anyway, so Zane cuts his hand. We go to leave. Alternator dies in the vehicle. Can't get the part for the car for another 3 days. Get the part for the car, change the alternator back on the road back home. Okay. Then get home to several things. I mean, just haywire normal life stuff. It could have picked a better time than now to hit. And then on top of it, Amy gets hit in the van. Van gets towed to the staging area where they check everything out to make sure the van's either good or not. Lo and behold, they total out my car. Fireworks show in Chrisfield almost gets canceled due to a permitting issue. So we're now loading stress onto stress onto stress onto stress. And I spent my days sitting here trying to figure out everything, all the logistics on what was going on, and just trying to make some sense of this mess that's my life. So yes, very somber, very stressed out, tired. I wasn't sleeping well. I wasn't eating. I don't know when you guys get stressed out. I don't really stress eat, so which is a good thing because of my diet. But I just wasn't eating flat out for like 3 days. Which is great for weight loss, but bad for your health. Go to find out that the insurance that I have will cover all the costs of the vehicle that they're totaling out, which is good news. We don't owe anything, but bad news because now we're out of car. Fast forward a day to call the car place that I've been getting my cars from for the past 6 years. And this will be number 3 in 6 years, so the car quality is great there. They have a car that we can afford on our budget to make this happen. Okay, great. It's been 2.5 days of sitting around and logistics and paperwork and getting the fireworks permit figured out and done. Thank you, Neppy's Fireworks in Wimber, PA. Actually, I think it's Morris, Kylertown, PA. So, thanks to, my business dealings with them, we figured out a logistic that we could use to get the show shot in Chrisfield. Got the permit application filled out and sent in. All that's done now. Let me tell you, Joyce, if you watch my videos, you saved my butt this year. You really did, and I owe you a steak dinner, that's for sure. So, which may come sooner than later because I may have a Labor Day show that I need to come up and see you for anyway. So, that being said, we went through all that, got all that taken care of. Now we're dealing with the car thing again. It's just been one low blow after the next after the next. Then on top of it, the dog that we went to find, that we found, and dog is worse off for the wear, might have bone cancer. Well, that was a defeating blow. If you don't know what it feels like, I hope you never do, but I'm sure most of you do. If you don't know what it feels like to get knocked down and then repeatedly kicked in the rib cage and in the head for about a week, it takes a lot out of you. But me trying to change my life around to be this positive, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I'm not going to call myself a role model or anything, but for me to switch from my really negative attitudes to becoming a positive influence on people's lives has really changed the way I've thought. And when I get down like that, I've got to work twice as hard to pull myself out. It's not just for me, it's for video content too. Now guys, this is kind of confessional on where I've been for the past 2 weeks. It was really hard for me. I mean, it's hard to be on quote unquote vacation and be mad. I was in Virginia, down southern or northern Virginia. I think it's northern Virginia, Virginia Beach, central Virginia. And we were, basically doing everything I love. Out in the sun, camping, fishing, enjoying ourselves. I was actually sleeping, which was really cool. and then to just have blow after blow after blow after blow after blow. It was kind of devastating. So, for me to stay as positive as I have, I can actually thank a lot to do with my YouTube followers. I really do. Because it told me, even though I'm down and I'm beat, I've got to stay positive for you guys as much as I can. Even when I was at my lowest point, and I'm sure you could see it on my face and hear it in my voice, I was still pushing forward to try to get a video to you guys to make sure you knew what was going on, so I didn't feel as alone. I know that sounds weird, but it's honest. I'm telling you raw from me to you. So, after having to trudge through the mud and the muck and the slime that I've had to trudge through to get to where I'm at today, I wake up today from a phone call from the car place, and they're like, Mr. Myers, you can come down tomorrow to pick up your car. What? I didn't hear anything from you yesterday. Now at 9 o'clock in the morning, I can come pick up my car. Awesome. And then I got some other news that just kind of melts my brain. I don't know how many of you all know I'm on disability and I have a very limited income. I don't hide any of that information from you guys. We do receive food benefits. We receive HUD benefits. I paid in all that, just like every other working human being pays into it. And of course, I've been a business owner for years and years, one thing or another. I really am kind of shocked, actually. So, when I tell you, I think that's the new. When I tell you guys this, don't get angry. I just found out today. My kids do receive free lunches in school. They have for years. I mean, that's nothing new. They implemented, I guess the state of Maryland, along with other states in the United States as well, have implemented this program to where they are giving us more SNAP benefits than e.g. food stamps than they normally do. Now they maxed out our food stamp budget to whatever the end number is. And believe me, for a family of 5, it's not really much. I mean, it's enough to get us through, but just, me and Amy do spend cash on extra food for the kids and snacks and stuff like that. The majority of the stuff that we buy with our EBT stuff is usually staples at the house, and that's what I buy. I use it at Cisco, and you see the packages I get big bulk food, and I cut it down and process it all myself. That way we're stretching our food budget as far as we can. Now, when I heard this morning, I kind of got taken back. Zane, what's the time on the video?
We're at 13 minutes.
Okay, cool. So I got like 20 minutes at least. Yeah. I'm not trying to make this a half-an-hour video, but it may end up that way. So I hear this through the grapevine about this extra benefit that kids that are on free or reduced lunch through school, and there's some weird name for PPE or PPEEP or something like that. I don't know what it's called. Y'all can look it up if you want to know. Now this is for the state of Maryland. I don't know about any other state. So I call social services and I'm like, look, what's going on with our food stamps? I keep hearing that they're going to get upped again, and I want to know why, and I want to know how, and when is this going to happen? Why is it happening? And what's the amount that we're going to receive, so I can make some type of plan for it, so I can go ahead and this is to benefit more the kids than it is me and Amy completely. So I want to know what I can do to go ahead and put more snacks in the house, because they're in the house a lot. You know, and it's just stuff that they normally can't get because we don't have. Now, don't get me wrong, they don't ever go hungry because I can manage our food money very well. And I do a lot of, you know, home preserving, and of course I do a lot of home cooking, you guys know that. We don't go out to eat very often, but they very rarely get stuff like frozen pizzas or pizza rolls or Hot Pockets or anything like that. Because, well, one, it's expensive, and two, I've got 3 children. I bring a pack of 12 Hot Pockets into the house, they're gone in 2 days. Well, that's not going to last throughout the month, so we just don't buy it. Even though the kids want it really bad, we just don't buy it because it's impossible to keep track of it and everything like that. To make sure all 3 kids get the same amount, and, you know, other stuff like, you know, they get very rare treats like snack cakes once in a great while, fruit snacks once in a great while. I mean, it's just dumb stuff like that the kids miss, and they like, you know, they have their own tastes as well, and it's, I try to cook to accommodate all of our tastes, but there's still stuff that they like that I haven't been able to get due to, you know, lack of food budget, honestly. And it's been like that for years. I don't complain about it, I don't bitch about it, we buy it when we can. But when I called this morning, and let me tell you, when it rains, it pours in both directions. And that's what this video is about, and I'm going to explain that in a second. I called this morning and I'm like, hey, I hear about this, you know, food stamp benefit that my kids are going to be receiving via our account, because, and it's not just for the kids, it's for everybody in the household. But, you know, what is it? How much am I to expect? What's going to happen? When is it going to happen? You know, just basic inquiry. Well, the state of Maryland has decided, since the kids have been out of school, their food budget for the schools has to be spent. So they are giving every eligible child $370 per month. Now, I got it all written down here. Every eligible child will receive $370 added to their food stamps per month. Now, if you add that up, I have 3 children. If you add that up, that is about $1,110 a month that we're just going to get for the kids. On top of the maxed out food stamp allotment due to the pandemic of $768, which brings us, you know, guys, if you don't receive food benefits or anything like that, don't get mad at me. I didn't do anything extra to do this. This is what what the state of Maryland's doing. This has nothing with me going and filling out applications or anything like that. They're doing it on their own. This goes to every food stamp recipient in the state of Maryland with eligible children to help them out through the pandemic, because now we have our kids at home eating constantly instead of sending them to school to eat. So this money that we're receiving actually was allotted to the school to pay for their lunches and everything throughout the school year. So I don't want any haters going, you receive food stamp benefits. You know what? There's more of us out there than you think, number one. Number two, there's a lot of, you know, we have to pay our bills still. And me and Amy only get so much money to handle a household of 5 people. It's very difficult, and we have it down to an art form. But when they offer it, and I don't have to do anything for it, I'm going to take it. Just like the $1,200 stimulus checks we received, you know, or any other benefit that you get. You know, retirees get food stamps all the time. Well, I worked most of my life as well, so I paid into those programs as well. So, just not to get on the defensive or anything, but I just don't want to hear any, you're taking advantage, you're doing this. I'm not doing it. I'm not taking advantage of anything. They're doing this on their own. So back to the numbers here. So we're talking $1,110 a month extra on top of our $768 that we already get. So that's $1,878. Now that's mind-blowing. That is a mind-blowing number. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. They're backdating that money, that $370.50 per child, all the way back to March when the pandemic started. Now, we pulled our kids out, I think, right around Amy's birthday. I think it was right before, actually. Because I didn't feel safe with them being in school. Me and Amy are both high risk for the COVID-19. And we didn't know what was going to happen. It was, the very beginning. No one knew anything. We didn't feel safe with them being in school. Let's face it, a school is a petri dish getting ready to explode with COVID-19 or any other virus. And the kids bring it home, and I get it. Period. That's just the way it goes. So we pulled our kids just about a week earlier than everybody else. Actually, I think it was only like 4 or 5 days, wasn't it? They're backdating this money to March. So, and they're paying it out in one lump sum onto your EBT card. Now, this is not cash money. I'm not getting cash. I'm getting EBT. At the rate of, y'all ready for this? I about shit when I heard this. $4,440. $4,440. That's, guys, I spend, on average, to feed my family, about $1,200 a month. And that's without going out to eat. That's with making a lot of the stuff from scratch in my home to make it cheaper. And that's buying in bulk from a wholesale distributor. So, when I look at a $4,440 food stamp budget, or food money budget rather, I'm going, oh my God. What the hell am I going to spend $4,000 on? Now, don't get me wrong. I can figure it out. But no, we're not going to go out and buy lobster and high-end seafood and stuff. Even though I love that stuff, I really do. I play this game smart. This is a one-time payment. The $4,000 or $4,500 is a one-time payment. And that backdates you know how the government does. They backdate everything to when the pandemic began. So, wow. Mind-blowing. And then to add almost $2,000 a month on top of that for, I guess, as long as the pandemic and the schools are out, it's going to last. I'm sitting here, I'm astounded. So, what does this mean? Why am I bringing this up in my video? Well, it means for my family, I'm going to be able to buy them the things they want instead of just what we need. I'm going to be able to afford more fresh fruits and vegetables for my children, which I haven't been able to do forever. I'm going to be able to get them stuff that they want instead of telling them no, which is a horrible feeling. If you've ever had to tell your kid no because you didn't have the money, even for something as simple as candy bar, it's a horrible feeling. And I'm going to be able to stock up on stuff that I normally wouldn't be able to do. I do can a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables. I make my own jams and jellies. We've been through all this before. So I'm going to be able to do that here and not have to worry about cutting into my food budget. Yes, I'm terrified that this is going to cause, hyperinflation. Everybody's going to get this big rush of money, and then everybody's going to go out and spend it, and all of a sudden the prices skyrocket. I don't think that's going to happen. I hope not anyway. And yes, food is more expensive now than it has been. The steak that I normally get from the food distributor went up about $20 per. Now that's per one big steak. Now, I know that doesn't sound like much, but when you think about it, if that's going up $20 per, and everything else is starting to jump up too. The only thing that I've seen that's been about the same price has been eggs, and they've stayed kind of steady. Cream and milk right now are high. Eggs are staying okay. Bread has been, that was one of the things that you just couldn't find.
You've got fuck 1 minute.
So, long story short, we're looking at a huge up in food budget. So I'm just like, oh my God. So for the next couple minutes, I guess, I'm going to focus on what I meant by when it rains, it pours both directions. I had a streak of bad luck. Well, I'm not even going to say bad luck. I had a streak of traumatic luck. And it was one thing after the next, after the next, after the next, after the next. But I persevered. I went through it. I kept going. Even though I felt like I just couldn't move. I kept pushing and kept going forward, kept going forward, kept going forward. I guess the key lesson here, at least for me anyway, is if you are feeling down on yourself, if you guys feel defeated, push forward. If you don't push forward, and it's hard to do, and it sucks, and you don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to go do your jobs, you don't want to go, do the simple things that you normally would enjoy. Push forward. If you don't push forward, you're going to stay in that rut. I have never pushed so hard in my life, and that's not a joke. This past 2 weeks was one of the hardest times in my life to get through. But it's starting to pay off. The EBT budget, that was kind of a surprise in itself. But now I've got my old car taken care of. I've got my fireworks show secured. I've got my new car I'm going to pick up tomorrow. So, out of all the bad things that happened, I now have some good things to look forward to. Although I'm not real happy I still had to get another damn minivan, but I digress. So guys, stay positive. Through whatever you're going through, however bad you think it is, stay positive. Keep your chin up. It will get better. On the bone cancer note of the dog, by the way, I want to say the results came back from the test. It is not bone cancer. The dog is fine. So this is the same dog that was lost. All sorts of weird shit. I'm telling you, 2020 has kicked me to the ground, but I'm kicking it back. So guys, also, tomorrow morning we will be in Western Maryland for a very short time picking up a vehicle. If you guys, I know a lot of you guys that follow me are from Western Maryland, my friends from Western Maryland. If you see this, we will be there. We are getting the vehicle done. Once we get the vehicle done, I may be able to stop off and say hi. If you would like me to do that, please let me know. Either call me, text me, put it in the YouTube video, whatever. So guys, that's what I've got for you today. Stay positive, get healthy, get happy, get through this year, and I think we'll all be okay. I'll talk to you guys later.